All right, we are going to talk a bit about something that's going to be important to you as you get a job and get out of school, and it's going to be credit cards. Now, we're going to look at the mathematics of how credit card interest is paid and a few important terms around the ideas of credit cards. So the first thing to note is that they may have what we call an interest-free period. It might be like something that's common is like 55 days, where if you pay off a credit card inside that 55 days, then there's no interest charged. So if it has an interest-free period, then it'll be identified as how many days you've got to pay that off without any interest being charged. Most of the questions you'll probably get in this course will have like it'll say there is no interest-free period. So you'll be told. If payment isn't made by the due date on the statement, then the interest is charged back from the date of the purchase. So the purchase date is always pretty important in these questions. The important thing to notice about credit card interest that it's calculated daily and it's compound interest. So we're going to use the compound interest formula or the future value formula, which hopefully from a previous lesson you'll remember is the same thing. But the important thing to note for a credit card is that it's calculated daily. So it's compounded daily. So let's have a look. The important thing to note here is then we take our interest rate is simply the annual interest rate or the yearly rate, and we divide it by 365 to get a daily rate. We still work with it as a decimal, just like we have been, but we're dividing it into 365 time periods, or that rate is the amount for one day. Just a reminder, our future value formula that we're going to use is future value equals the present value outside of 1 plus the rate to the power of n, which is the number of time periods. So let's have a look at an example and see how that all goes together. Sharon bought $280 worth of clothes on credit with an interest rate of 18%, and there is no interest-free period. How much did she pay if she paid off her card after 14 days? So in 14 days, to pay off her card in its entirety, how much did she have to pay? All right, let's go through and have a look at what we've got. We know our future value formula. We've got a present value is this here. It's the $280. That's the the starting amount of our card. So $280 of our purchase for the present value. Our rate. Now we know that the annual interest rate is, where is it? It is here, 18%. We're going to convert that to a decimal, which will be 0.18. So we just divide it by 100. And then we're going to divide that by 365. So 0.18 for the year, but divided by 365 because we want a daily rate. And let's see, our n, our number of time periods. Well, if we're working with a daily interest rate, we're going to work with every day as a time period. So clearly there are 14 days or 14 compounding time periods. So now we just go through and we put all of that into our future value formula. Okay, that is something you can punch into your calculator, and when you do, you get 281,939. Now it's a currency, so we need to round that to 2 decimal places. So to pay off her credit card in full after 14 days would have cost her $281.94.